Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Okay. Yeah, my microphone seems to be live. It says it's live. Donna, don't tell me I'm muted. Um, even as practical joke, because you do play practical jokes from time to time. My name's Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. And I would like to dedicate this song in absolute irreverence to one of my favorite sisters-in-law who just passed away last night. Leslie Burt, my wife's not favorite sister-in-law, but a genuinely magnificent lady that I am going to miss with all my heart because she's always been just one of the stalwart members of my wife's family whose company I really enjoyed. And here's to you, Leslie. God bless. And may you find your husband, Tony, on the far side of the Rainbow Bridge and be reunited, because I could think of nothing better for you and he. Salute. Now, with me tonight, at the moment, we have only Aunt Donna, but I'm sure as soon as everybody quits yapping over on last minute or stupid o'clock, there'll be a few more people popping up. We hope everybody will pop up actually, because there's nothing better than that crowd getting as crazy as we got tonight and uh, if you do not see the stupid clock that just happened, you're probably in your bomb shelter awaiting the end of the world. But we are proof positive that the end of the world is not that bad. Okay, here's Richie. Um, we're doing okay. Um, hopefully, my intro did not depress anyone. I'm just celebrating the glorious life of my sister-in-law. So let's
First of
just
all,
keep going, keep going,
condolences.
keep going.
No. First of all, I do want to say condolences to you and Lindsay.
Well, she's really heartbroken because um her brother Tony passed away a long time ago, and she has always been heartbroken. However, her brother Ian has been one of the foundations of the surviving family, which it now turns out to be Lindsay and Ian and the other guy. Not that I can't remember his name. He's just
Understood?
he is just
Not worth
shell
mentioning.
he's um he's a real piece of work is what he is. Um and God only knows how he got to be 80 years old and be in that. Well,
Alrighty.
let's just leave that aside. Ian and his wife Leslie are absolutely beautiful people whose company I greatly enjoy. Um, my former sister-in-law, well, still sister-in-law, my deceased sister-in-law Leslie. Seems to be a lot of Leslies in the family. Dad's name was her. My wife's dad's name was Leslie. Two of the ladies in the family were named Leslie. It's like with Superman. There's a lot of L's involved in the family tree, and you know, they're all absolutely freaking amazing people whose company I really enjoy. And I wish them all the best in this difficult time because they're having to adjust to the loss of someone who was
Oh,
a stalwart in the family and just there for so long and just such a fantastic person. And my sister-in-law Leslie's death was totally unexpected. It took us totally by surprise. And she didn't have any health problems. Nothing we knew about. It's just boom. About 5 o'clock this morning, Lindsay got the news, and it's been devastating in this household. So I'm drinking a toast to her. Um, uh, Lindsay has Lindsay has drunk several toasts to her, um, and to her son John and his family as well. Um, you know, one of the best nephews and niece-in-laws, and well, I don't know, uh, can't say great grandchildren because it's not that kind of family, but um, it's just one of those things we've watched all of them grow up and it's just my heart goes out to him. My heart goes out to him, and God bless him. I know this is not going to be easy. And Lynn was going, I can't even book a plane ticket to go to the funeral because it's $2,000 to fly for one person, and I can't do it on my own. And I'm going, I understand, honey. But remember what was, and think of Leslie and Tony finally being together again in the hereafter. That's got to be amazing right there because they were so much in love. So that's what I'm focusing on. And I'm probably going to get in a shitload of trouble because I brought it up. But, you know, when you can't give condolences to family members, there's something wrong going on. So, on that note, let's do the lady proud and have a good time, because that's what she would want. And she'd probably be even less coherent than me, because this is not a gin and tonic, but she enjoyed a tipple every now and then on days that ended in Y. So, on that note, shut up, Dan. Take it away. Take it away. Take it away. Obviously being a sentimental host this evening.
It's understandable, especially when you can't be there. I was unable to say goodbye to my oldest brother because his visitation and funeral happened at the same time Carl was in the hospital having surgery.
Ooh, yep. That's one of those things that there's a choice to be made, and you made the right one as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, my mother and my other brother understood, his family understood if the widow didn't, well, we don't call her the Bloomington bitch for nothing.
Character study.
Yep.
Yes. Hell, Rich, don't let us bring you down. I know we depend on your usually ebullient sense of humor, if I'm pronouncing the word correctly, and tonight's no exception. So,
in that case. Oh.
I said...
No, that's right. That'd be bringing everybody else down. No! Put it back on! Put it back on!
Except for a few ladies are going, ooh, I like it, Daddy.
Dad bod I know of is sitting over there, and
yep,
Dad bod is very in these days.
Oh, why did I ever come up with that parody?
Oh God, that reminds me. I still have to write that Dad bod is Ripper.
Yes. Yes, you do.
You're going to get published far and wide, if I may be so bold.
And then have like Cletus T. Judd on the cover.
Are you needing some tips on writing that sort of thing?
I don't think tips is the right word to use at this point.
I don't know. Maybe tips would be the
tip. I think those kind of books require more than just the tip. I can't believe I went there.
It's not even the green room. Oh, okay. Well,
night, everybody.
Welcome to tonight's show. We're glad you enjoyed it before we got banned. Um,
Uh, I'm going
uh,
to hell.
well, if you can't laugh about things and reminisce about things, you're really um, focused on the pain rather than the good times.
My eldest sister has blocked me from Facebook and has told her children that when it is her time to go, that they are not allowed to tell my other sister, and I that my eldest sister has passed. And this is because of a statement I made about um, being afraid to have to go through the movies in Dad's room,
Oh,
Mhm.
because I don't want to come across Mom and Dad's homemade.
yes,
You're
as I
disgracing our parents. No, our parents actually made one of those movies. They were too
one.
healthy.
As far as he knows.
One
Oh
out,
no,
and
oh no.
that's when I stopped looking.
I'm sure there were several cassettes. He just learned not to look.
And there might have been several movies on that one cassette. I stopped looking after the first couple seconds. But yeah,
I
they
do.
were adults with healthy adult appetites. But it did dawn on me after I made that joke that there was somebody else in the room.
That was not a time period where those cameras were
Had a remote control
self-actuated.
zoom, and also the angle changed.
Uh-huh.
But it's like you're disgracing our how Mom and Dad
What?
used to make that joke themselves. You know,
You ain't disgracing nothing. You're going, your parents were human.
Hmm.
and then she got mad at me because I told her to f off my page. I get to grieve my own way. She doesn't tell me how to grieve on my page.
Fair enough.
I'm like, if I was doing this on your page, yes, then we had this conversation, and I'm the asshole. But if I'm doing it on my page and I'm not forcing this onto anybody else's page, you know, and the thing is, the majority of my friends would have thought it was a joke had I not had to explain my sister's reaction.
Mm. All right. Feel free to do that on my page when I'm gone. Um, however, there is not going to be video evidence.
Oh yeah, it's not like I went on mom and dad's pages and put this on their pages posthumously either.
Yeah. I have a long and convoluted series of memories, none of which are suitable for public consumption, and none of which have ever been filmed.
To your knowledge.
Oh, well, maybe the CIA filmed something, but they use these little pinhole cameras, so it would be it'd be grainy and not in high def. Um,
And the
No, those are
sound
the
would be
cameras they
bad.
let you know about.
I'm talking about the camera equipment that was available in the pre-90s. So whatever they got in place now, I'm going, well, if y'all want to wank to that, that's fine. Um, it's just a man and his wife having fun in a wonderfully adult way. One of those things that you just go, oh shit, Chris is here and he's going, I'm wiping my eyes. I don't believe what I've walked into.
No, I'm just tired. But
No, he
Oh,
knows his
Lord.
group.
Yes, he does, and that's the problem. I know he knows this crew. Um,
Well,
the-
I'm still here, so I'm not that scared. Little
and
leery, but I'm not scared.
apprehensive, maybe, but
Ugh.
oh, and I hate the fact that we're getting the reputation as green worm light
Yeah.
because we're not light by any means. We just dress it up in pretty language.
Yeah. And the scales wind up being a little bit lighter, but that doesn't mean we can't add to them quickly if we so choose.
There are so many things we could do if we
Yeah.
That's what
really
she
didn't
said.
care. Hmm.
Well, I use the scales reference because I am a Libra, so I will tip them if I feel necessary.
Be sure to tip your waitress on the way out.
Yeah.
Oh,
As a Taurus, I just bull rush on in.
Yeah. Well,
bringing up
the
the
thing about it,
zodiac.
if you hit it off well enough with your waitress, you might arrange for a tip later on.
Uh,
I no. Anybody see that video of which were the most dangerous zodiac? I'm just moving on by. Most dangerous zodiac signs.
well, if you weren't included in the top 10, I'm going to be very disappointed because you are highly dangerous, madam, and I love you. Ah,
I am a Sagittarius. Sagittarius was number 2 on the list. Most likely to be a spree killer. And number 1, most likely to be a serial killer, was Scorpio.
Yeah.
Oh God!
I
Carl is
identify
a
as that. I identify as that remark.
Rich is
Carl is a
Misty, a Scorpio. How do
Carl is a
you wish?
Scorpio. So in this household, you have number 1 and number 2
I
That
most
was
could be
about to
likely
full
to
make
kill
ons.
somebody.
I was about to make a joke about um, you know
I can
my
read
wife.
your mind like a magazine.
My
Um,
wife's a Scorpio, so I have to keep my eye on her tail, and it's a nice tail to keep an eye on.
amen.
Wait, okay, sorry. That one requires a fake stogie to give our regards to Groucho.
Yeah,
Yeah, starting
really.
to say that was
And
I like my cigar, but I take it out every once in a while.
yeah.
Um,
and I just happened to be smoking a Gurkha assassin.
Bill Clinton should have kept his cigar put away.
Yeah, and not where we put it.
I don't know if that would have helped his wife's attitude or temperament.
I'd like to stay alive. I'm not going to touch that political statement. Um,
I
that's,
mean,
that's
because let's face it, if he pissed her off, he's in deep shit.
hey. There are two females in the United States you don't want to piss off, and the other one is Martha Stewart.
Yeah, because
I was
she
going to say
knows
your
better
wife and your
than
mama.
most people.
Those are further down the list.
I'm gonna tell you, Snoop Dogg loves Martha Stewart. I mean, he has genuine affection for her. You don't think the two would have hit it off as well as they have, but they have.
Yeah, I ain't afraid of her.
I ain't afraid of her either, but the other one, I definitely am.
Yeah, you don't want to piss her off.
Ah.
No, I've
And for
played either
those
one
of
of
you
them.
who don't know what we're talking about, count yourselves lucky. And I said that in the lowest pitch voice I can manage.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that's serious. Okay, I'm going to do a run to
Refill.
the kitchen to do another gin and ginger ale. So the three of you,
We will do
try
our
not
best.
to
Carry
try
on.
not to destroy the world while I'm gone, because I know you can. But it's it's just
I'm not in the mood to right now, so
think of it as a personal favor. I mean, seriously. Um,
I don't want to destroy the world. I mean, where would I live?
yeah.
in the next one, Midgard's
We're,
overcrowded.
he
Um,
he's talking to Misty, so we're good.
okay, I've never actually put a name to the indeterminate person that I was talking to, but
I was not aware that my computer muted myself. I kept saying, I kept trying to say that I wouldn't destroy the world. It's where I keep all my stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm too lazy to move it again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen of the putative audience who may or may not exist at this time, I'm running away.
Go refill your glass. Yeah, my older brother is Sagittarius, Donna,
Mm.
and my dad was a Scorpio, and my mom was an Aries. And unfortunately,
My
I inherited
psychopath was a
both of their
Sagittarius.
tempers.
What about Saggies? What'd you say, Rich?
My ex-psychopath was a Sagittarius. My ex-psychopath was a Sagittarius,
Yeah.
and so was her mom.
Ooh.
Yeah, you might have got away from a family of black widows.
Well, so my ex-psychopath's mom cheated on her dad, and that is how their youngest brother came about.
Yeah.
They got divorced. She moved in with the side guy for a little bit, and then things went south, and she ended up moving back in with my ex's dad. And when the baby was born, he actually adopted the baby and whole 9 yards. And she was allowed to date whoever she wanted to, but he couldn't date anyone. It was, I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to want you either.
Yeah, that's always a shitty arrangement.
And then I met Misty. And suddenly, the ex-psychopath was interested again.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And that's where I used the line that was mentioned last night in the green room, where I was like, no thanks, it's not you, it's me. I don't want to be with a psychopath.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
And apparently I was the bad guy for saying it that way.
Yep. But
You gotta do what you gotta do.
you would have been worse off if you'd tried to be more diplomatic and peaceful about it.
Some people don't take diplomacy.
Yeah. Some of them you had to be blunt.
She remained friends with my nieces and nephews. And whenever it was showing that, hey, there's a graduation party at, my sister's house, on such and such date and time,
She'd show up.
She would show up, and she's like, "You can still call me Auntie Michelle, anti-psychopath." Accidentally used the real name. Whoops. But yeah, and my nieces and nephews are like, "Why the fuck is she here?" I'm like, "Because you're still friends with her on Facebook, and she sees the invites go out." And they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I finally got a chance to talk to my brother this past week. After meeting my other brothers and sisters, one of my sisters gave me the family tree with all our birth dates on it.
Hmm.
And of the 10 of us, only 2 of us had the same bio father. Me and the brother that was born after me. So I'm entering this into my database and I'm like, wait a minute. My birthday is November 28th. His birthday was April something. And so I called my sister, like, are you sure this is when he was born? And she's like, yeah, we've had it verified. They must have changed your birth date. And I'm like, I don't think so. So I asked my brother if he remembered when they brought me home, because Mom was always about how I was 6 days old when they brought me home, which would have put it around my eldest brother's birthday, the 5th of December. And Dave's like, he was 9 at the time. And he said he didn't remember if it was on Dale's birthday, but he did remember that it was before Christmas. So I'm like, okay, that's close enough. So evidently, she had me and then bought my bio dad like right away. And Carl looked up the
Time frame.
record books, and she missed having the shortest pregnancy on record by like 6 days.
Wow.
So
yeah, because that's like 6.5 months.
more like 5. Yeah. But then again,
Late November. So
yeah. And I think mid-April, I'd have to look it up. But yeah, I'm going November to April. That's not that far. So, but then again, I have heard of couples who did it in the hospital after the baby was born. So, considering her proclivity, I wouldn't put it past her.
it's
She was
just
a Scorpio, wasn't she?
it's just
Mhm.
odd that she would be fertile that fast after.
I said though she is a Scorpio, right?
I have no idea. I would have to look that up, and I'm not that interested in her.
And that's fine. I just was thinking, they supposedly have one of the higher libidos of the zodiac.
Oh, you don't have to tell me about it. I'm married to one.
Misty keeps thinking that I'm going to stray and stuff like that because of self-confidence issues that she has and stuff like that. And I'm like, honey, I can barely keep up with the wife and the woman that I have. I can't keep up with anything else. I couldn't keep up with a hamster. And all you got to do is walk by and just go, yeah, that needs water. Yeah, it needs food.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Mother of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of one of the things about somebody that's like that. They don't know how pretty or beautiful they are, and that makes them more so to you, then
Yeah. What I
Yeah.
I
really
don't
love
think they realize how that works.
is she'll get mad at me for a reason she refuses to state at the moment. And I'm like, oh, hell. I'm not going to get to sleep tonight.
And that's the
Because,
bad part about it. When they won't tell you what the hell it is you supposedly did or whatever, how in the hell can you know how to?
well,
And I don't understand women like that.
I would lay down to go to sleep, and about 30 to 45 minutes after my head hits the pillow, I am this close to actually drifting off into sleep. Suddenly, door flies open, light comes on, and we have the argument then. And it's like, really? You know, I've been asking you for 6 hours. You're coming at me now?
Mm.
I'm like, all right, let's have this conversation. But a lot of the times it's like, you never tell me I'm beautiful.
Bull
Walked in the
fucking
door.
shit.
Walked in the door. Hey, sexy butt, how are you? Come, wrap my arms around her while she's cooking, kiss her on the neck, kiss her on the cheek. She finally turns, give her a peck on the lips so that she doesn't burn herself. But it's
Mm-hmm.
it's
What gets me is when somebody said that the wife or the significant other got pissed off at him, and won't tell him why. And then when she does fess up, it's like you looked at a girl or you talked to a girl in a dream I had, and like
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
not real.
not just that.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. I'm cheating in your dream.
Yeah.
I've had that argument.
I
It's one of
guess
the,
Carl's first wife was like that.
it's one of the few times Misty has ever slapped me. But yeah,
Um,
it's like it wasn't me.
Now, me, I get pissed off and I say, why did you do whatever? Why did you say whatever? Because I got no time to go around going, you know what you did. I've had that done to me and I hate that. Because I'm,
Well, it's like a lot
You
of
know what you did? No, I don't know what I did 5 minutes ago. Can you give me a time frame of when I screwed up?
I
mm-hmm.
really should have bought popcorn.
It's like
Um,
they didn't get past the damn drama and bullshit of teenage years.
well,
I didn't like drama back then either.
I enjoyed it. It was my favorite
sometimes,
club to be in.
sometimes
I
it
love
is
drama
not.
when it
It is
pertains
not.
to an actual movie or film or something that I want to
Mm.
see.
Theater. It was theater class. Theater club.
Sometimes it's not um stuff that happened recently, but it was stuff that happened before we met. I am continually, and I love my wife without let or hindrance or reservation, but she has not had the absolute best treatment in life, and she has a lot of very, very understandable issues, and she thinks that I am one of the most patient and caring and loving individuals that she's ever had in her life. And I'm going, you were cheated, dear. You should have had that since day one, since you were born.
Yeah, there's some people that's been through so much shit that it's understandable why the way they are, but you
And
just
and
wish you could have gone back in time and
well,
slapped the shit out of people that made them that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think slapping is adequate, but we'll
Oh, I'm
we'll leave
talking
it at
bare
that.
minimum.
We'll leave it at that as a non-legally actionable activity. Um,
We're being recorded. That's as far as we want to be recorded.
mhm.
Yeah.
Now, Aunt Donna can attest that I am a very honorable and restrained, yet somehow entertaining gentleman, especially when I'm using this voice.
Hmm.
But I don't try to take advantage of it. It's not like it's a super. Well, yes, it is a superpower,
It's like some women will say that flirting is cheating, and I'm like, flirting's just it's a way to pass the time.
but flirting
Just be,
is just being polite.
Or
just
trying to
because
make
Flirting
I'm
someone
is
smile and laugh.
fun, and it's
yeah.
something that needs to be practiced to remain good at.
Hmm.
True.
And I'm. I've
Apparently, I've
had
been a
a.
flirt since I came out of the Play-Doh fun factory of life. Um, Apparently, in my baby book, my mom wrote Richie is such a flirt. He was flirting with all the nurses from the moment he was born.
Believe it or not, my dad was flirting with all the nurses up until the day he died, and
I can
Mama
believe
loved
it.
it. Mama loved it.
I'm going to tell him my nephew Michael, and also my nephew Alexander. Um, but the thing is, Alexander has decided to switch to the other team, but at a very young age, he was very flirty with all the female nurses, and they would always, just act like they were so hurt whenever they had to be brought into the emergency room or anything like that. And then the nurses would come in to give them a hug, and then the nephews would just lay their heads on the bosoms and just grin.
And the other thing that some women will do to create the drama, um, when Carl was still a counselor, he was also a liaison with a outfit in town that helped handicapped students get jobs. And their schedules were so busy that oftentimes they could only meet over lunch.
Hmm.
She was a redhead. She was Lucille Ball redhead, but
Hmm.
It
I
worked.
was driving. It works. I was driving by the office one time, and it was time for lunch, and I saw his car was in the lot. So I'm like, I just stop and have lunch with him. So I go in, and you know, I just stop by to see if Carl wants to have lunch. And this one counselor who lived the drama said, "Oh, he's gone to lunch. He's a redhead, trying to get me jealous." And I look at her and I go, Becky, you're going to have to be way more specific than that. Oh, when we first got married, we used to drive those women crazy. Um, the day I took him to meet my brother David and his wife, he parked his car where I worked and got in my car to go meet them. They lived about 10 miles outside of town. He's like, well, what can I do to impress him? And I said, well, can't do much about the suit because he wore a suit and tie back then. But at least, ditch the tie and open the collar. So he took his tie off and tossed it in the back of my car. And we went, met them, talked about. I mean, we were engaged before either one of my brothers met him. Uh, at that time, my sister-in-law did made cakes. So I'm like, we don't need gifts, but how about you make a small cake for the reception? So we come back to town. He gets in his car and goes home, and I get home, and as I'm locking my car, I look in the back seat, and there's his tie. So I call him and I said, "I've still got your tie. When do you need it?" And he says, bring it into the office tomorrow. I'm like, tomorrow's Wednesday. Wednesday, he was always up in a little town called La Chica. He wasn't going to be in the Danville office. And he says, yeah, that's going to be the perfect time to bring it in. And I'm like, okay, and what am I going to tell the church ladies? And she says, he's like, just tell the truth. So I take it in and, pretend like I didn't even know that Carl's not there. Is he here? Well, can I leave his tie here? And of course, their eyes got like this. Yeah, he left it in my car last night. And they said, yeah, we'll put it in his office for you. Well, I could just hear as I left. A couple weeks after that, his best friend from high school happens to be a woman. And he called in. He says, "You want to do something for me?" And sure. And he gave her a pair of socks and said, "Bring this into my office on Wednesday." and, and ask, and when you find out I'm not there, ask if you can leave them in my office. So she did. And by that time, they knew that Carl and I were engaged. So here's this strange woman coming in with his socks. I used to call in and ask for him, and they go, "Well, who's calling?" And they didn't know my voice yet. And I said, "Just tell him Nora." Nora called, like Nick and Nora Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Okay, he's not here. Can I have a number?" No, he has my number.
I bet he loved it just as much as you did, if not more so.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Well, there's a reason we get along well.
If you can cause that many people absolute cerebral explosions,
Yeah.
it's got to be fun. It really
Create
does.
ghastly
Hey,
thoughts in their heads.
small minds can be very fun toys sometimes. Yes.
Oh, yeah. I actually did that with my own age in the date of my eldest stepdaughter, without mentioning she was a stepdaughter. So I'm 65. She's 54. You do the math.
I hang things like this up in the front window. Misty
like
won't
that.
let me hang the sign that I really want to hang. Oh, you know what? I wonder. I wonder if I should send this to Joe
Joe,
and say I want this wood burned.
he did a door sign for me that I wonder when I'm going to get it.
Very, very similar, and I want one like that too.
Mhm.
Because I'm just like, oh yes. But the other sign that I want to hang on the front door that Misty won't let me hang is, no thank you, we have a god, and Cthulhu is a very jealous god.
I
Go
wanted
away.
to add on, we found Jesus and he's pissed that you lost him. But Carl wouldn't let me do it.
Pull out your card, Rich. There's a post I saw that if it didn't win the internet Saturday, it came damn close. apparently this woman chased away some Jehovah's Witnesses naked, saying, "Come get my devil something vagina."
Okay, I haven't seen that one. I've seen another one where um, she sees the Jehovah Witness coming up the sidewalk, and she just undoes her robe and answers the door like that. My late brother-in-law Tim,
Mm-hmm.
he was a fun one. He was a Baptist, but he was a cool Baptist. He was one of the Baptists that was a person who worshipped in the Baptist faith and not a Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
And that comes in every flavor of every religion, everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Christian, pagan, other, you know.
There are
You've got-
people who practice that are true
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. And then you've
And
got
there's
people
some that
who's has no other identity other than their religion.
Yeah,
And
there's
they need a
some
little
that
bit of
those
help.
of that fate, they bad name, regardless of whatever particular fate
Mhm.
that might be.
God gave Tim a gift. So he would
Sarcasm.
sit, no, literal. It's he would sit down with the Jehovah's Witness, and they would start prattling off their stuff. He's like, "Can you tell me where in the Bible that's at?" And then they'll rattle off a chapter, book, chapter, and verse, and he's like, odd. And then he would just go like this with his Bible. It would fall open to that exact passage that he was wanting to read, and he would read it. He's like, "That's not what mine says. Mine says this." And then he would close his Bible, and then he'd talk to him for a little bit, and then he'd be like, "Where in it is this?" And then again, he would just like this, and it would fall open to the page he needed, and rattle off what his said, and they stopped sending people to Tim and Sheila's house because Tim was converting them away from Jehovah's Witness to baptism.
Yep, that is a gift.
Yeah.
Like I said, God gave my brother-in-law a gift, and that is, it's a pun, but it's also, no pun intended, God's awful truth.
Mhm.
I would love to have.
I miss it.
There's two different ones. There's one that's got the Ewoks, and we'd like to talk to you about our Lord and Savior Goldenrod, and it's got C-3PO in it in the chair.
God. Oh God, I need that.
And there's another one. There's another one that's got, I think, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and a younger Anakin. Or anyway, there's 3 Jedi on there. It's like, we'd like to talk to you about the Force. You will open the door. You will.
We are
My-
the droids you've been looking for.
My mother-in-law.
I actually have a T-shirt that's got a stormtrooper with his head down in his palms or hands or whatever. He's like, "Regret. Those were the droids I was looking for."
I have that in a T-shirt. He's sitting there. He's got a glass of blue milk, and he's like this. Those were the droids I was looking for.
My mother-in-law decided on the day of my brother-in-law's first wedding to announce that she that she had become a Jehovah's Witness. And Carl told her, "Well, that's great, Mom. You come around to our house on Saturday morning, won't open the door to you either."
Oh Lord!
I still want to know what happened. I'm sitting here one day and his car pulls up and 4 young men come out, obviously Jehovah's Witness. They're in the black pants, white shirt. Like, okay, They're going to be coming to the door. All four of them go around my house. And not 5 minutes later, they come back to the car on the run, just as fast as they can, get in that car and go. Phew. I'm like, man, I'd like to know what kind of JW repellent that was.
Well, the
Do
first
tell.
clue. The first clue is that they didn't come to your house. They had obviously heard about you. The second clue is your neighbors know about you and they spread the word.
I don't think any of my neighbors, we're not that close to any of them.
That you don't have to be close to be notorious.
Yeah, and word could have spread around town that they're like, oh, those people that live over there, you don't want to mess with them.
Well, when we were in SCA, not Carl and I, but Dumbass and I, we did used to practice out on the front lawn with our
Your gear?
pool noodles. We used pool noodles at home
Mm-hmm.
to fight because we didn't want the cops coming around because we were out there with our swords.
Yeah.
But they might have noticed that.
The two easiest times that I have rid myself of Jehovah's Witnesses, both times I was out on the front porch of the house I was living in, sharpening a sword. And they come up and go, we'd like to talk to you about... Oh, I see you're busy. We'll come back later. And, didn't even say the name, just said, we'll come back later. And they never did. The other easiest thing was when my wife was going to a Jehovah's Witnesses church, and she decided that she was not going to dispose of all my worldly goods and become a divorcee in favor of marrying some young buck that they picked out for her. And as soon as they realized that, we were anathema. They refused to come in the yard. And
Hey, lucky you.
hey, there were a couple of them that came back later, and I just walked out on the porch and go, hey, we're prescripted. You can't come here. You'll get in trouble for trying to say anything here because we're obviously the devil's spawn. So you just shrivel off to the Privilos, okay? And they did. After a while, they got over being so mad that she would not divorce me in favor of marrying some guy that they picked out. And they started to look at me, and I'm going, sorry, your woman ain't kiki enough for me to be able to go with. I was thinking,
Mm-hmm.
let me know when you enter the 21st century.
Well, as bad as I hate to, I'm going to have to call it a night. I am really wore out because I've been up since 6 a.m. And
Good to see you.
I'm fading fast. It's great seeing all of y'all. I enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't distract from the conversation too much.
Oh,
no.
no, not at all, Chris. Everyone, and I say this without reservation, everyone that gets a chance to have a conversation with you is delighted and respects you highly. And we are just the smallest fraction of your fan club.
It's nice having one. I appreciate all of you. I
I
enjoy
know, and they're
hearing your
cute too.
stories and experiences.
You've got a really cute fan club. I've got to tell you. I've followed your exploits for years, and I go, damn, if I was still single.
Oh, yeah, well, maybe something will come of it before too long. But
Damn well better. You're being wasted.
yeah, well, they got to show enough actual interest instead of just superficial on the surface. We got to know they're interested in us as well as
Hmm.
This is
us being
true.
interested in them.
This is true. There's nothing like having someone that you become a soulmate to.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm not the first. I won't be the last.
Well, don't get me wrong. Sometimes beating around the bush can be fun, but eventually you got to get down to the nitty gritty.
Richard, get out of my mind.
Maybe because
I
you're
had
going
to say
around
that.
it that there's the issue. Sometimes you got to cut straight through the middle.
Yep. Sometimes you got to spread the bush.
Oh
I
Lord!
don't believe I said that. I don't believe I said that. I'm sorry. I'm
It,
sorry.
it,
No, I'm not. No, I'm
it,
not.
it,
I
it's my
can't believe you
fault.
said that here.
I brought it up. I shouldn't have said that, but too late.
That's
I
what
already
she
done
said.
A half
Mm.
bird is worth two in the bush.
You know
Oh, thank you. I needed a good laugh.
that's some kinky girls right there.
Yes, it is. You need to
And I
introduce
have
me to those two.
17.
Good night,
Um,
everyone.
Night,
good
Chris.
night, Chris.
Good night, Chris.
You know, it's amazing what we get away with. And
Yeah.
then again, who the fuck watches this anyway?
Carl. And he doesn't care.
He's taking notes.
One of us. One of us.
He's wanting to figure out how to piss off enough people to keep the secret humor group private.
I can't believe we have over 300 people in there.
Wow.
Oh wow. I can't believe we got 3 people watching this now.
Well, one of them's me.
Yeah, I closed out. I usually close out by 12:30 to 12:45 or so because usually everyone's already in here, so there's no chance or no sense keeping the chat open for me to.
Well, I'm hoping the other 2 aren't my mom and my sister. Otherwise, I'm going to be in deep shit. And yes, my mama has heard me use language of that nature before. She's not happy about it, but she's highly entertained. So
It's the subject matter.
we have a subject matter? I thought we were just bullshitting. I mean, it's not like we're talking about the life, the universe, and everything, but we can if we want to make sure that those last 3 people watching disappear in a hurry. Remember, folks, this is for entertainment purposes only. We are not philosophy. We are not life lessons. We are not.
It's not what you said last night.
No, Life Lessons is my channel.
Shh, my wife will hear you. Um,
Oh,
when I said I'd teach you a trick or two, I did not mean life lessons. It was something a little bit more shallow. Uh,
waiting's good.
would you enunciate that one again, because I could not. There's about 6 different jokes trying to go through my head at the same time, and I'm going. None of those can be right.
You brought up
Waiting.
shallow, waiting in the shallows. Come ahead. You can do it. You can
No, I
do it.
can't. No, I can't. Not on camera. No, no. This is not the green room. Yeah. Witness, my family and friends. I am capable of self-editing. I don't like it, but I'm capable of it.
Oh, good. That noise is coming from Mitch's place. I thought I was going to have to berate a cat again.
Oh, the falling of something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was pulling out my magnifier.
Yeah, what worries me is he's got a magnifying glass and I ain't even showing nothing.
Well, what will worry people more is if they could see it, it would look like it's actually pointing at my lap. It's not pointing at my lap. It's pointing at the lower portion of my desk.
That will not stop Dawn. Believe me. She's looked at my keyboard and go,
The
I
other
can
day,
see just beyond the edge of that picture.
I was sitting here trying to read something on screen, so I actually held it up like this. It was in the green room because Carl was trying to grab a screenshot. And I'm like, okay. Just to make sure that there's not a screen grab somewhere of just the camera seeing my face in the magnifying glass. I don't want to scare people that badly.
If there is, you know it's going to show up.
Yeah, I can totally see it, yeah.
Once he figures out how he wants to use it,
You can't stop him.
no. And sometimes I just have to hold my head because you people just egg him on.
He's like North Korea. Once he figures
Sometimes
out
you make an egg and
what he
cheese him
wants
on.
to do, you can't stop him from doing it. No matter how earth-shattering it turns out to be. I'm not sure, but I think I may have just become the first person to be banned from the Secure Human group.
As long as I'm an admin, you will never be banned.
No, there's a couple other people that have been banned from that group.
For good reason.
I need a reason? Okay, I'll have to work on that.
Kiri and I were talking about that just last night after you left. That certain person.
Well, I did wind up trying to watch a music video after that, and the next thing I knew, it was 7:30 in the morning, and my wife was going, "You coming to bed sometime soon?" And I'm going, "Is the dog gonna let me?" Um, seriously, am I the only married guy that likes to lay in the bed, reach across, hold hands with his wife while they sleep? And the dog is going, "You bastard, you're seeing that other woman, I know."
It's not that I don't want to hold Misty's hand and touch her while we sleep. It's just
The restraining order gets in the way, doesn't it?
It's dangerous to touch some of us when we're sleeping.
where she likes to sleep on my arm. There are times I don't have feeling for about 6 hours after I wake up. And considering she sleeps on my right side, therefore she sleeps on my right arm, and my right hand is my dominant hand and arm. That can make morning evacuations dangerous.
Mm,
If I can't feel my hand to aim properly, I have to get the mop.
I'm sorry, but I actually resolved that problem um, 3 wives ago by if I
going out
wake
the
up
window.
if I wake up in the middle of the night, I gotta go. I'm sitting down. I,
Well,
g- I got a 50-50 chance of actually hitting the toilet instead of the wall across from.
because
I'm
I'm a
sorry.
big boy and I don't have the toilets that reach out far enough for me to be able to do everything properly,
I can
yeah,
identify.
that's even more dangerous.
I can identify.
Um, work toilets, I can do that. Home
Well, they're
toilets,
split in the
no.
front.
Well, no, it's the bowl is actually the elongated bowl, so
Oh
that
yes, yes, yes.
you
Mhm.
know I've got the room to be able to do what I need to do. Where the home toilets are the much shorter bowls. So yeah,
Yeah, and being in an apartment, you can't change them out.
Well,
not without having to pay some money afterwards.
yep, and you got to remember I am built to a somewhat slightly smaller scale than you. So I don't have never run into that particular problem. But if wishes for fishes, there'd be a lot of ladies that go, "Dude, sit close." Oh, you're sitting. Okay, you can't sit closer. Oh, damn it! It's a good thing that I was not drinking something at the time.
You put such pictures in my head. No.
But in
But
all, I wish.
I will reach out and I will place my hand on her back or her tush or whatever while we're sleeping and stuff like that. Um, but I will often turn because of shoulder issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's only so long I can stay sleeping on my back or on either side before there's a lot of pain issues going on.
Yep, I understand completely.
And oddly
Uh,
enough, sleeping on the injured shoulder actually make sleeping hurt less.
I
Pressure
have found that
points.
about my hip. Yeah.
Pressure
But
points.
well, also I think what it is when I'm sleeping on my left hand side, my arm's doing this, so it's pulling on the joint. Whereas if I'm just sleeping with the joint stationary, that there's no issue. And I'm sleeping on my back.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, because of Misty's and my size and the fact that we're only sleeping on a queen, the shoulders hanging off the edge of the bed.
Hmm.
Especially during the course of the night as she snuggles closer and pushes me off the side of the bed.
Well,
Um,
since we got the dog, snuggling has become an exercise between sneaking scattered moments and getting this, oh, you're messing around with that human woman again look on the dog's face.
I finally found the bed size that Misty and I need, and actually needed years ago when Crow was a little baby and used to climb out of their crib and into our bed and snuggle right between us. Because, of course, the baby instantly, all four arms, and,
Mm-hmm.
all four arms, all four limbs, 2 arms, 2 legs. They're not a mutant, I swear. That we know of.
That's your story and you're sticking to it.
But still, it just immediately arms and legs out, pushing us off the side of the bed. And then, of course, at the time we had an Italian Greyhound. The Italian Greyhound would take up more room in the bed than Misty and I combined.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who don't know what an Italian Greyhound is, imagine a Greyhound the height of a Chihuahua. Yes, that animal took up more. So the size of bed we need, and definitely needed back then, is an Alaska King. It's like 8 foot by 8 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even bigger than a California King?
Yes.
Yes. And still not big enough.
Yeah, and that'd be a great sized bed because then I could actually have both my shoulders on the goddamn bed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's she'll get mad at me because she'll keep scooting closer to me, but of course as she's scooting closer to me, she's trapping my leg, and I have restless leg, and if my leg is not doing this as I try to go to sleep, I can't sleep. If my leg is trapped and can't move, I can't fall asleep. And then, of course, I sleep usually in just being covered by a sheet instead of an actual comforter because my body temperature normally runs hotter unless I'm sick. If I'm sick, then I need a pile of blankets, and it's like, don't touch me, I'm cold. And of course, as she sleeps, her ass and her feet drop to absolute zero, but the rest of her becomes the heat of the sun.
I can relate.
And then I love her.
Don't say the rest of that. Don't say the rest of that.
I'll be sitting there, I'll be almost asleep, and then all of a sudden I get or she'll start, and it's like, really?
You're asleep. You can't do this now. That's not.
She's trying to fall asleep, and of course she needs to touch me, to be comforted by the fact that I'm there, and she'll start messing with my mustache and my beard, or the one that really gets me is she'll end up laying her arm so that her hand's on my neck, and I'll just take it and I'll just put it down just a couple of inches so that it's on my chest, and then it comes back up, and then I'm like, she's like, "You don't want me touching you." I'm like, "No,
I
you
don't
are.
want you strangling me.
You're too close to my neck, and I'm feeling like I'm being strangled." You know, granted, yes, I do have a CPAP that's going to constantly keep my airway, open. But if you start applying too much pressure there, that's going to overpower the CPAP.
Yeah, really, the airways are no longer open. The machine is just going, okay, now we're basically a something you'd find in an aquarium when the fish are dead. Um, yeah. Um, I. Oh, fuck. I could get in so much trouble.
Do it. Do it. Say it.
Why stop now?
Yeah. It's not like you haven't before.
I have not been a person who has only had marital partners in the past. And I have learned a great deal about how different women who were my, if not marital, then temporary partner at the time felt comfortable sleeping. And there were at least three that probably would get me banned off of YouTube for the next 60 years, but let's just say they endeavored to maintain a personal contact that is not something you can mention in a family friendly show. And there were others that basically there was one that basically I had to sleep with my arm in front of my face to make sure I didn't get beat up during the night because of something she dreamed that I had done. No, Lindsay's
See,
not like that.
it's not that I dream he's done something. It's just that I'm an active sleeper. And,
That's
the
because
arms
he
and
ain't doing it right. If you can still move, he ain't doing it right.
we were on a business trip for the state one time, and we usually get two beds when we go to a hotel. And this hotel screwed up and gave us I think it was a California King. I mean, lots of room on it, just plenty of room. And he
Just
said
not enough for you.
he got up in the middle of the night to take care of business and came back to bed, and I was lying there sleeping. And he said he laid down and was watching me and going, "We need to do this again." Because by that time we'd gone to separate beds because of my activity. And about that time I rolled over and smack her in the face. He's like, "That's why we have separate beds, yes." Also, he's a very light sleeper. And I mean, I've slept through a tornado. I can sleep through dang near anything. But when the back of the knees,
I know that's not a dig at me, but I'm just going tornado amateur. Um,
when the knee of the back's acting up, I'm up and down constantly. I'll get up probably 6 times in the middle of the night just to change positions or something. And he figured out why I need a light on of the night because I spent so much time in the hospital when I was a kid that I'm used to a light.
Yeah, I can
And
understand.
when he moved into the other bedroom, then I got to leave the TV on of a night that cancels my tinnitus and helps me
Oh
sleep.
yeah, yeah. I've known several people like that. Yeah,
Yeah, and
some of my best friends, they cannot sleep unless the TV is going all night long.
yeah, and it's wonderful. There's all these shows or channels now that have reruns, so I don't need to be getting involved in these shows. I've seen them before, but the noise kind of cancels out the tinnitus.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't say you'll get one of those sound machines. No, sitting there listening to the rainfall or the, I mean,
You know, he's on a
peaceful.
beach.
It's
Yeah,
peaceful. It's nice, but it doesn't do a
it doesn't
thing.
work, does it?
Mm-mm.
Yep. I got one of those alarm clocks with the um, sound generators in it that did rainfall. The one that worked best was actually waves on a beach,
Mm-hmm.
and um, it was rather cheaply made. So if anything moved the power cord between the outlet and the clock itself, it got weird. The soothing sounds were replaced by something that was not soothing whatsoever, more on akin to, oh, you know, in case of nuclear attack, um, Jimmy Carter comes on and says, "Thank you very much, Yon Yon, good night," and then kept making big noises. But I, I'm I'm not sure. I don't know that we threw that clock away because I always wanted to take it out, take it apart, and rewire the power coupling so that wiggling the cord to the outlet did not screw it up. As I was really, really fond of the waves on the beach, and that helped me sleep uh, immeasurably well. And when that thing stopped working, I went to my music program and I wrote an entire album of waves on the beach and thunderstorms and just gentle rainstorms and whatnot, surf noises and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first put that one out, I played it on the computer, left the door to my office open, cranked it up real loud, and Lindsay said, "That's the best sleep I've ever had in my life." And I just looked at her and I go, "Well, you know, that's why the working title was if this shit don't put you to sleep, you're in trouble." Um, I have no idea where I was going to go from there. I didn't have a destination from there, but
We don't always need a destination.
Hallowcon, that's our destination. Uh,
Can't wait.
Actually, it will be fun. It will be fun. I'm hoping that y'all get down so that you can meet Lindsay and you can understand why I am so absolutely enamored of this little bitty British woman. And seriously, um, I can't say enough as to how she has managed to remove so much stress from my life while adding her own particular brand. It's like, oh, you don't like cornbread? Here's a biscuit. Okay. A constant diet of either one is not going to be suitable. Uh, I'm gonna be in so much shit if she ever watches the shows. How much time? Oh, we've still got 30 minutes. I'm doomed. I'm fucking doomed. Oh, I could just end the show right now and play music videos for the next 30 minutes, and I'd be in less trouble. Oh Lord. Um. All right. Let me attempt to be serious for a moment.
Uh-oh.
Like that's gonna happen. Um,
You can
Like-
try all you like, whether you're going to succeed or not. It's another matter altogether, brother.
hey, Donna's reaction is pretty much what I expected. Dan, serious? Are you kidding me?
That's why I said you're welcome to try.
Oh Lord.
Let's see about success. You are welcome to try.
Hmm. Tell mother I died game. Oh, serious. Oh, whoa, serious. Oh, wait a minute. I crossed about 4 streams right there. And 3 of them only people that are familiar with English tropes would understand. And then the other one's going to go, oh, that was disgusting. The trouble with living in my head is I'm still here. It's like imagine the United Nations, but dysfunctional.
You mean just imagine the United Nations?
That's what I was thinking.
No, further than that.
Oh,
It's like there's one part of my brain that knows what I want to do. There's another part of the brain that realizes what I just did. And there's another part of my brain that goes, if you don't apologize for this right now, you're doomed. And then there's another part that's going, oh, wow, cute girls in bathing suits.
Hmm. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, but why does the 4th one get the most attention? Okay. Cute girls, I got that. I am my father's son. Cute girls, I started to say follow that, but I can appreciate that aesthetic.
I'm sure.
And then the old guy goes, and what good is it gonna do you? Get to see cute girls. And he's going, point.
game, set, match.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Not gonna help you now.
I don't know how many people who. Well, I know lots of people who actually know me in real life know what a dirty old man I am, but I don't know how many people that know me online that realize that in the back of my mind a monster lurks. Um, yes, Richie, I know. It's taken from life. Sometimes chains can break. No, not the chains I forge. I behave myself. Damn it, I behave myself. I wish I wouldn't sometimes, but yes, I behave myself.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I know. I heard you're slightly muttered. Damn it, yes, you do.
Can't blame a girl for trying.
Oh.
Oh God, I don't remember exactly what happened the other day, but Misty, Crow, and I were all sitting in the front room, and a comment was made by Misty that just made me just sit there and just shoot her a look like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And at the same time, Crow shot her the look, and then I turned and I looked, and I saw the look on Crow's face, and I'm like, "Do not look at your mother with that tone of voice," because because, because Crow's look was like, "Bitch, please."
As long as it wasn't, Mama, he's mine, you're okay. Uh, that's the look I get from the dog. Uh, I'm going, wait a minute, we're not even the same species. That's just wrong.
Love will conquer all.
Okay, she is cute, but no, that's just wrong. Um,
You're welcome to think that all you like, but I'll pass.
yeah, really. I do have my limits, and um, okay,
Um,
if I get reincarnated as a dog, we'll try it. But you're fickle. I know. I raised you. Otherwise, will you let me hold hands with my wife, please? No, because she was going through all this emotional stuff today. Um, Lindsay has required hugs aplenty, and the dog is going, "Oh, I'm so jealous." I'm going, "You're not a groupie." Okay. Yes, you are a groupie, but you're not our species. Will you please give us a moment? I'm trying to reassure my wife that everything's gonna eventually be all right when all the rest of the fan hitting stuff hits the fan. Um, God save me from a jealous dog.
even worse than a jealous woman, huh?
Oh, yeah, believe me, even worse than a jealous woman, because a jealous dog does not understand any form of logic, much less the pretzel logic that a jealous woman might understand. Um, and I have had to try and navigate through the corkscrew logic of a woman that had no need to be jealous but was. And that can get painful. And not emotionally so, but physically so.
Mhm.
Nope, nope, nope. Mm. As the poet said, I can't go for that. No, not at all. And there are actually people out there that are Googling that now, trying to figure out what the hell I just said. Um, Forget it. It's entertainment. Just move along. There's, you know, there's nothing to see here. There's more entertaining stuff coming up.
Yeah, but I like your
Yes, I
entertaining
actually.
stuff, Dad.
Yeah, well, all three of us are. Excuse me, you didn't just say that out loud. Yes, you did. Shut up. Um, I do not suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
You enjoy it?
I revel in it. Believe me, there's the. I started to say the lady's name that is famous for suffering from that, but that was also my first wife's name, so I'm not going to say it. Um, that should have been a sign to me, but no, I was young, I was inexperienced, and I had no idea what kind of shit I was getting into. And yet, my stepdaughter from that marriage is one of the greatest people that I have ever met. She's got the most honor, she's got the most stable relationship with the guy that she loves, and she rescues children from abusive relationships. And I'm proud of her. But her mother, I ain't going there.
Hey, Carrie.
Now, what is Carrie here?
Mm-hmm. Just
Oh,
popped
I
in.
don't, I don't have the comments open. Hey, Carrie. Glad to see you again. If you want to join us, the link is in um, the
Stupid
link
o'clock
thing.
PM.
Yeah, the private messages for whatever. I don't have your Discord, so I can't send it to you or anything else. But we'd be more than happy to have you join us. It would be a great relief from me just running my mouth. And
We just let you go.
that's the trouble. Too many people just let me
That's
go
not what you
right
said.
ahead.
Not what you
Um,
said last night.
hmm. You're wanting the voice again, aren't you?
Always, honey. Always.
Okay, it's still. It has to stop for it to become again.
True. True.
Well, I actually have to.
I'll be right back.
Oh, now she's gone. Okay, get Hall and Oates out of my freaking mind right now. Um, Carrie, can you add anything to this so I don't put my foot in my mouth any further? Because, you know,
Well,
oh,
that
that.
depends. Are you dealing with the man eater?
I'm gonna get you for that.
I was trying to say I thought it was Donna that was going to try to eat you up.
Ooh, 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 ooh. That's definitely a green room comment right there. I'm sorry, but
You know, it could be referring to cannibalism. I mean,
let's not talk about any of my exes. Okay. Um,
alrighty then.
Yowza. Ah. Okay. Yes. 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 Um, I was blessed and cursed in a relatively few number of years. So let's just declare that right to privacy on their part, and I will move along with the same lack of grace that you're accustomed to me demonstrating. Ah, how about that Babylonian Tupperware? Oh wait, no, that's right on up
Still
there with
fresh.
the really soft ropes that the lady on the canal boat video was going. Oh, I like these, and I'm going. Oh, honey, you did you? Oh
Yep.
no, you did, but you meant to tie the boat up, not for your husband to tie you up in the.
Why not? Why not
I'm
both?
not gonna say that in the comments. No, no, no. Um,
Why not both?
that's the thing. She was excited about both.
Well, you know, the handcuffs were getting a little rusty from being on
Mm,
the canal.
that's why they're velvet covered. Well, do draw moisture. I mean, seriously.
Mine
Um,
are gold, so there's no velvet or fur covering.
Madam, you interest me strangely.
And then a pinch nylon hose that works. I think Calvin's given up on me.
That one website we were talking about earlier.
Yes. And yes, I have ordered from them before. I just didn't know they were still around.
Yes.
Misty's going to kill me for this, but I don't care. Among
Sir,
some of the
you have a
things,
strange death wish.
among some of the things that we found when we were moving, we found some restraints that we had purchased.
You had purchased, or your
That
mom and
Misty,
dad had purchased?
that Misty and I had purchased when we moved out.
Oh,
Um, so it's um,
not judging. Um,
never saw my children run from our bedroom so fast as they open the drawer to start packing stuff, and they're like, "What's this?" And I walk over, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, these were for your mom." And then all of a sudden, boom! Oh, oh, oh!
light bulb went off and lit the path to the garage and out into the night.
I touched those.
Oh Lord.
So there were a couple different kinds. We had the furry handcuffs in the tiger print because Misty loves tigers, and then we actually had the 4-post stuff to try.
mhm. I actually helped someone move who apologized for the chains and handcuffs around the bed. I'm going, I understand. And then they go, Oh, you shouldn't have opened that drawer to unpack it. That purple thing. Sorry you had to see that. And I go, it's smaller than I thought it would be.
This isn't my story. This is Misty and her sister's story. They were helping their mom move before Misty and I ever met or anything like that. They were much younger. They all three were out of the house, but so they're helping move stuff, and they're packing my mother-in-law's delicates drawer.
Yes.
And they find a device. And they pull it out, and they're like, "Mom!" My mother-in-law apparently yelled, "It's not mine, it's your father's, it's for his knee."
Mm.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like,
No,
If-
wait a minute. I'm very, very familiar with human anatomy. A knee does not bend that way.
I am very familiar with therapeutic devices that perform the same
Mm-hmm.
type of action. I'm like, here's the thing. Things that are designed for the inside do not work as well on the outside. I'm like, that would be a very bad thing to use for therapy for any type of knee surgery or something like that. They would have the larger pad, you know,
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
massage pads
I'm-
and guns.
I'm very familiar, but the things that work on the outside can often be reapplied creatively.
Yes. So outside can be used for, I'll go for it here,
Near
more
surface.
titillating experiences. Whereas stuff usually used for the inside, you don't have a good application of surface area
Mhm.
for it to work well for a knee or a back. Just saying.
Yeah,
So
you're absolutely
I,
right.
I just find it hilarious that the go-to was, "It's for your father's knee."
Really? Where was he putting it, Mom?
So yeah, so that I kind of wish I was there, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't.
Knowing your predilection for remarks that might sometimes have been better off censored, because you live in my head. I know exactly what you're thinking every minute of every day. Um,
All right, another fun story about my
and
mother-in-law.
yes, the brown curtains are too much.
Another fun story about my mother-in-law. So in my family, we had always had a joke about the best babysitter for my nieces and nephews was duct tape and a stun gun. Best way to get him to behave, whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So my nephew and my niece, my eldest sister's youngest two, came with me from our Thanksgiving over to my mother-in-law's Thanksgiving, and I wasn't paying attention. And
You actually use the line.
someone's like, "Well, how do you get him to behave so well?" And I just
Mhm.
rattled off duct tape and a stun gun. The look of horror on my mother-in-law's face. Now, mind you, my predecessor, as Misty's husband, was an abusive fuck.
Yep. Familiar with that phenomenon.
My mother-in-law and father-in-law, for years, let my eldest two get away with murder because they felt guilty that they did not see the signs.
Yes, yes, that is a very common thing, actually.
So
And
immediately, my mother-in-law is like, oh, "He's going to abuse my grandbabies." No, no, not at all. It was just a turn of phrase. It's the way my family jokes. But yeah, it was another 7 years before she realized I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
and all because you didn't have the guts to say, "Yep, the little shits to ask for it. I'm gonna give it to them."
Well, no, here's the thing. When I said duct tape and a stun gun, Jacob and Sharon went, "Yeah."
Works
Again,
for me. Yep.
they were like
Are you
13.
sorry about joining us yet, Kiri?
They were
Not at
13.
all.
They were 13 and 10. So they grew up with that family joke. So yeah, it didn't help that they're like, yep. So now meanwhile, my brother-in-law, who is one of my best friends, is trying not to die laughing.
Good luck.
Because of course he's there because we share the same mother-in-law. So yeah, it's him and his wife just are like meanwhile, my other brother-in-law kind of chuckled a little bit and just let it go, whereas my other sister-in-law just kind of went, is he serious? Is he not? Because I delivered it so deadpan that you couldn't hear the joke because it's just duct tape and a stun gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so offhanded, and it's like
There are so many
the hell.
situations where that tone of voice works so well in a certain group of friends, but with outsiders to that particular group, it's like,
Okay, again,
say what?
two of my best friends sitting on one side, my wife, who now gets the jokes and the sense of humor, on the other side, and the niece and nephew that we're talking about is in on the joke. Yeah, I was way too comfortable in that situation, and yeah,
Exactly. And that's why humor is
subjective.
very. It depends on who you subject it to. Yeah. Um, and sometimes they are not willing to be subjected to that
Yeah,
particular humor. Um,
yeah. I've worked.
I've been very lucky that my relatives have understood the sick and twisted part of my humor and go, "Oh, that's so cute. He just did a triple entendre," and my mom's going, "I'm gonna whoop your ass when we get home," and Dad's going, "No, you're not." I told him that. Um,
Yeah, sadly, I got too much of my sense of humor from both sides of the family.
mhm.
Um,
And it really depends on the reception of it. Really depends on who knew beforehand that that was the kind of humor you should expect, and who never had the slightest clue that that's the kind of humor you need to expect. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's sometimes people do stupid things at work, and I don't have time to put the muzzle on real Richie. And people who are only exposed to professional Richie meet real Richie for a moment, and they're like, "Wait, what? What did you just do? Nothing."
What did you just say? Um, uh, these are not the droids you were looking for. Move along.
You'll notice the guy that just said that looked a lot like me, but he didn't have a goatee going on, so he was the evil me. But wait, you've got the goatee, so you're the evil you. No, so the me that you always know has the goatee, so therefore I'm the good one, and the one without is the opposite, therefore he's the evil one.
You're reaching. Well, I for one am glad
I've got a tool for that.
I for one am glad that we got the Richie with a goatee because he's far more entertaining than the dull one that is evil. And that's the trouble with evil. It's so fucking boring. It's the same 5 notes again. I mean, is there some variety that could be added to evil rather than A, B, C, and D?
Evil is just a 4-chord song.
No, that's Three Dog Night. Just an old-fashioned love song. Coming down in 3-part harmony. They'd never mention the 2 guys that are tied up in the back of the stage going, "We were supposed to be on!"
We never should have let
All
themselves
right, all right. I apologize. I don't know where the hell that came from. It was just moving along, or probably stagnating more rapidly. Oh, Lord. Sometimes, Daniel, I wonder if a coherent thought ever passes your mind, and then I'm glad that none do. I make no apologies, although I probably should, but
Yeah.
hello, nurse. Notice who looks up. Yep. Pay attention. This voice has powers.
Mm-hmm.
Practice this voice.
There's times that you'll use the voice, and somewhere in California, all of a sudden, George Takei just out of nowhere just goes, "Oh
Ooh,
my!"
my.
Yes, I know. But other times,
He doesn't even have to experience it. He just, he feels the disturbance in the force.
there's this. What is the word?
Onomatopoeia?
No, that's the wrong word. That's a Muppet song.
Sphygmometer?
I think no. That's. I'm sorry that
Spizzerington?
I actually I am very sorry that her butterfly tends to throb when I use the voice because I don't mean to, but then again, yes, I do. It's not hypersonic; it's subsonic.
Obviously, I'm not in on that joke, and I think I'm safer that way.
Much.
Aren't we all? let's just say when the subsonic vibrations set in. There is a sympathetic movement within some psyches. Oh, and we get a nod for it, Donna. She knows what I'm saying. Um, yes, dear. Oh,
I'm just
you.
sitting here innocently petting my pussy.
So I'm guessing that I have correctly inferred what the butterfly was, hoping I didn't.
The butterfly in question is a tattoo, not an anatomical feature. Although I'm quite fond of the anatomical feature of butterflies, but this is not neither here nor there. Um,
And it's a certain type
You know,
of collector's item.
I okay. I'm not a young man anymore. I don't collect them, but I certainly value them when I'm allowed to witness them.
Well, some people, okay, so I was going for tramp stamp
Oh, I don't know about that.
because the most
I
common tramp
really,
stamp of my generation was a butterfly.
I am not sure. It was not specifically identified as that. Could be. I just don't know. I have
all I know
never.
is it was bruised.
Yeah, usually by me talking. Um, ah,
Which is why
it's
I
a,
went there. If someone fell, especially if they had the same type of radical realignment and um, altitude adjustment that I had a few weeks ago. Had I a tramp stamp, it would have been bruised.
You, yeah.
now remember, my attitude usually is corresponding to your altitude. So, oh, that's a very 70s thing to say, Daniel. Um,
Mm-hmm.
mm, moving right along. Um, oh God, I don't even know what are they doing nowadays. I mean, seriously. I've been absolutely without anything but alcohol and what's the word? Enhancement for so many decades that I've forgotten what kind of stuff kids get up to nowadays. I'm hoping it doesn't involve Tide Pods. But
Oh my gosh.
I didn't say it was okay. I never said I was lawful neutral. I just said I was lawful chaotic. Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh,
my most common comeback to so are we good is coming back with either no I'm chaotic neutral or sometimes I'll be like no I'm chaotic good or sorry, chaotic evil, and every once in a while my wife will be like oh my goodness I'm like oh my evilness.
that's so cute. I love that. I really do. Uh, oh, that's something that is so neat to be able to share that particular variety of humor because it's so few people that possess it and are willing to admit that they can share that with their significant other. No, Donna, handcuffs were not involved.
Did I
More
say
than
anything?
15 times. If my wife ever sees this, I'm such a dead man. Wouldn't be the first time.
But at least you'll die smiling.
True.
Oh,
True.
believe me, it's going to take the mortician about 6 to 8 weeks to get the grin off of my face. So let me tell you, there's going to be drugs involved, and he's going to take them all. But
We have passed our 2 hour.
we have, oh, all right, yeah, 210. That's about average for us. Stick around if you want to. I'm going to play the bedtime story, and that's why Carl can go, what did y'all get up to after you ran the credits? And we'll just say,
No. He knows
you'll
what we get
never
up to.
know.
He knows. Yeah.
You tell him
He gets to think
everything.
he's got the same dirty mind I have, so he knows what happens.
Trouble is, he don't have the same dirty mind I have. So,
Well, fellas, I'm going to call it a night after the show ends. So,
all right.
Good night.
Well,
shall
Donna,
see you later.
thank you for being here. You're always a valued member of our twisted company. I should have
Well,
said
I
sick and
enjoy
twisted,
being here.
but you're quite well. And
I thought
on
that was
note,
good. Oh,
it is good. It's very good. And when you're bad, you're
even better.
exactly. Good night, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Hi, folks.
If you aren't partial to what happens next, use your imaginations. They should be adequate.
Transmission overload.
System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.